Ever found yourself lost in translation during a conversation, unable to convey your thoughts and feelings the way you want to? This is the struggle of communication that we all face at some point in our lives. Imagine you're sharing a heartfelt conversation with someone you care about. You're trying to express a thought, a feeling, or an idea, but the words just aren't coming out right. It's like there's a barrier between your mind and your mouth, preventing you from saying what you truly mean. Or perhaps you've been in a situation where you've misunderstood someone else's words, leading to a conflict or a misunderstanding. One moment, you're having a casual conversation, and the next, you're entangled in a web of miscommunication, trying to decipher what the other person meant. Then there's the scenario of being in a heated argument, where emotions run high and words fly like arrows. You're trying to get your point across, but your words are falling on deaf ears. The harder you try to communicate, the more frustrated you become. These are the common struggles we face when communicating in relationships. Whether it's with a partner, a friend, or a colleague, these communication breakdowns can leave us feeling misunderstood, frustrated, and disconnected. But let's not forget about those moments when we just can't seem to find the right words. You're in the middle of a conversation, and suddenly, you're at a loss for words. It's like your thoughts have evaporated into thin air, leaving you speechless and unable to convey your feelings. Communication is a complex process that involves more than just words. It's about expressing our thoughts, feelings, and ideas in a way that others can understand. But it's also about listening, understanding, and interpreting what others are saying. So yes, communication can be a struggle. It can be challenging, frustrating, and at times downright confusing. But here's the good news. These struggles are not insurmountable. In fact, they are opportunities for growth, learning, and deeper connection. It's a common issue we all face, but the good news is there are ways to overcome these communication obstacles. But first, let's understand what effective communication really entails. Communication, in its simplest form, is the art of transferring information from one place to another. It's like a bridge that connects people, allowing ideas, feelings, and thoughts to flow freely. But it's more than just talking and listening. It's about understanding and being understood. Think about it. When we communicate, we're not just sending out words like a radio broadcast. We're sharing a piece of ourselves, our perspectives, our experiences. We're opening up our world to someone else and inviting them in. This is where the beauty of clear expression comes into play. Clear expression is about being honest and open with your thoughts and feelings. It's about saying what you mean and meaning what you say. It's about being concise yet thorough, ensuring every word carries your intention. It's the key to being understood, to making sure your message doesn't get lost in translation. Now, effective communication isn't a one-way street. It's a dance, a give and take. That's where active listening steps in. Active listening is not just about hearing the words that are being spoken. It's about tuning into the other person's emotions and understanding their perspective. It's about showing empathy, giving feedback, and validating their feelings. It's about making them feel seen, heard, and valued. And let's not forget the role of mutual respect. Respect is the glue that holds any conversation together. It's about acknowledging the other person's right to their thoughts and feelings. It's about being open-minded and accepting, even if you don't agree. It's about creating a safe space where both parties feel comfortable expressing themselves. So communication is a blend of clear expression, active listening, and mutual respect. It's a delicate balance, a skill that needs to be honed and nurtured. But the payoff is worth it. Because when we communicate effectively, we foster deeper connections, we build trust, and we open the door to understanding and empathy. Mastering these elements will set the foundation for successful communication in any relationship. A scene script. Step 1 to effective communication is learning to express yourself clearly. Imagine trying to paint a masterpiece, but only having access to 2 colors. It would be challenging, right? The same applies to communication. It's vital to have a broad spectrum of words at your disposal to paint vivid pictures of your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. So, tip number 1, expand your vocabulary. Explore new words, phrases, and idioms that can help you express your thoughts more accurately. Next, let's talk about I statements. These are a little gem in the world of communication. By beginning your sentences with I, you are expressing your personal experiences and emotions, not making a universal claim. For example, saying, "I feel overlooked when you're on your phone during our conversations," is far more effective than saying, "You never listen to me." The former focuses on your feelings, while the latter can come across as an accusation, potentially triggering defensiveness. Also remember that clarity does not equate to verbosity. You don't need to craft a Shakespearean sonnet to convey your thoughts. Often, the simplest words, when spoken from the heart, can have the most profound impact. So keep it simple, keep it honest, and most importantly, keep it you. Another cornerstone of clear expression is specificity. It's the difference between saying, "I'm upset," and "I'm upset because I felt ignored in our conversation earlier today." The latter provides context, enabling the listener to understand the root of your feelings. Lastly, practice makes perfect. The more you express yourself, the more adept you'll become at articulating your thoughts and feelings. So, make a habit of expressing yourself regularly, whether it's through journaling, talking to a trusted friend, or even speaking to yourself in the mirror. Remember, clear expression reduces room for misunderstandings and promotes mutual understanding. The more accurately you express your thoughts and feelings, the higher the chances of being understood. So, dear souls, let's embark on this journey of clear expression together and watch as our relationships flourish. Now, let's move on to the other half of communication, active listening. Active listening is a cornerstone of effective communication, and yet it's often overlooked. It's more than just hearing someone speak. It's about being present, showing empathy, and responding in a way that makes the speaker feel heard and understood. Imagine this. You're in a conversation, but instead of formulating your reply or thinking about what you're going to say next, you're genuinely focused on the speaker's words, capturing the nuances of their message. That's active listening. So why is it crucial in conversations? Active listening is the key to building trust and rapport. When you actively listen, you're not just acknowledging the speaker's words, but their emotions, thoughts, and feelings too. You're telling them, "I see you, I hear you, I value what you're saying." Practicing active listening, however, can be a bit tricky, but here are some practical tips to master this art. First, show interest. This can be as simple as maintaining eye contact or nodding your head. These nonverbal cues signal to the speaker that you're fully engaged and interested in what they're saying. Second, paraphrase. Paraphrasing is restating the speaker's words in your own language. It's a powerful tool that shows you're not only listening, but also understanding their message. For example, if your friend says, "I'm feeling overwhelmed with work," you could respond, "It sounds like you're really under a lot of pressure at work." Third, ask open-ended questions. These are questions that cannot be answered with a simple yes or no. They encourage the speaker to elaborate, share more information, and engage in a deeper conversation. For instance, instead of asking, "Did you have a good day?" ask, "What made your day good?" Active listening is like a dance. It requires patience, practice, and most importantly, genuine interest in the other person. Remember, active listening not only shows respect, but it also ensures that you fully understand what the other person is saying. Of course, not all conversations are smooth sailing, so how do we navigate difficult ones? In the realm of communication, we sometimes encounter choppy waters and stormy skies, where conversations turn tough and disagreements arise. But even these challenging moments can be navigated with skill and grace, turning potential conflicts into opportunities for understanding and growth. First off, it's essential to keep a level head. When the conversation heats up, it's easy to let emotions take the wheel. But remember, staying calm helps you think clearly and respond effectively. Think of it as being the captain of your ship in a storm. Your calmness can steer the conversation back to safer waters. Secondly, focus on the issue at hand. It's easy to get sidetracked by past issues or future worries, but these only complicate the conversation. Stick to the present matter, addressing each point as it comes. This approach can prevent the conversation from turning into an overwhelming whirlwind of issues. Next, finding common ground is key. Despite your differences, there's usually something you both agree on. Maybe it's a shared goal, a mutual respect, or a common understanding. By finding and acknowledging this common ground, you can create a supportive platform to build the conversation upon. Remember, it's not about winning or losing. It's about understanding and being understood. Let empathy guide your words and actions. Try to see the situation from the other person's perspective. This can help you respond in a way that addresses their concerns while also expressing your own. Lastly, don't shy away from seeking help if needed. Sometimes, a third-party mediator can provide a fresh perspective, helping both parties to understand each other better. Navigating difficult conversations is not about avoiding the storm, but learning how to sail through it. It's about transforming potential conflicts into opportunities for deeper understanding and stronger connections. So the next time you find yourself in the midst of a difficult conversation, remember these strategies. Stay calm, focus on the issue, find common ground, and let empathy guide you. Remember, every difficult conversation is an opportunity for growth and understanding. But communication isn't just about words, is it? Let's talk about the power of nonverbal cues. Often it's not what you say, but how you say it, that carries weight. Nonverbal communication, which includes body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice, can speak volumes about your thoughts and feelings. In fact, studies show that a whopping 93% of communication effectiveness is determined by nonverbal cues. That's right, 93%. Imagine you're telling your friend a funny story, but your voice is flat, your face is expressionless, and your body language is closed off. Chances are, your friend won't find the story amusing because your nonverbal cues are sending a different message. Now let's dive into the main forms of nonverbal communication and how you can master them. First up is body language. This includes your posture, gestures, and general movement. Stand tall to convey confidence, use open gestures to show you're approachable, and lean in slightly when someone is speaking to show you're engaged. Next, we have facial expressions. Your face can express a myriad of emotions without uttering a single word. A warm smile can convey friendliness, raised eyebrows can show surprise, and a furrowed brow can indicate confusion. Lastly, there's your tone of voice. This refers to how your words sound when you speak them. A gentle tone can convey empathy, a firm tone can denote seriousness, and varied intonation can keep your listeners engaged. To effectively read nonverbal cues, observe people's reactions and match them with their words. If they say they're fine, but their body language is closed off and their tone is tense, they might not be as okay as they claim. Remember, nonverbal communication is a two-way street. It's not just about reading others' cues, but also being mindful of your own. In conclusion, nonverbal cues are the unspoken elements of communication that can either reinforce or contradict the words we speak. By mastering these cues, we can enhance our ability to communicate effectively, express ourselves authentically, and build stronger connections. Mastering nonverbal communication can significantly enhance your overall communication skills. As we wrap up, let's quickly recap the key points we've covered today. We've journeyed through the landscape of communication, exploring its many facets and nuances, and in the process, unlocking the potential of our relationships. We began with understanding the struggle of communication, acknowledging that it's not just about speaking, but also about being heard and understood. We recognized that communication is an art that can be mastered with time and practice. Next, we delved into the realm of expressing oneself clearly. We learned that clarity in communication is paramount. It's not about using fancy words or complex sentences, but about being precise, concise, and accurate. We discussed the importance of using I statements to express feelings and needs without blaming or criticizing the other person. Then, we turned our focus to the art of active listening. We discovered that listening is not just about hearing words, but about understanding the emotions and intentions behind them. We learned that by reflecting back what we've heard and asking clarifying questions, we can ensure that we've truly understood the other person. We also navigated the tricky waters of difficult conversations. We found out that even when conversations get tough, it's crucial to stay calm, patient, and respectful. We also learned about techniques like timeouts and cooling off periods to manage heightened emotions. Our journey then took us to the power of nonverbal communication. We learned that our body language, facial expressions, and tone of voice speak volumes about our feelings and attitudes. We realized that by being aware of these nonverbal cues, we can enhance our communication and build stronger connections. Throughout this journey, we've gathered a toolbox filled with practical tips, interactive exercises, and real-life examples. We've discovered that effective communication is not just about talking or listening, but about connecting on a deeper level. We've learned that through effective communication, we can build and maintain strong, meaningful relationships. Remember, mastering the art of communication is not an overnight process. It requires patience, practice, and perseverance. But the rewards are immeasurable. So we encourage you to keep practicing these tips and strategies in your daily interactions. Take one step at a time. Start by expressing yourself clearly, then practice active listening, then try navigating a difficult conversation. Gradually, you'll see the transformation in your relationships and in yourself. With these tips in your toolbox, you're now well equipped to communicate effectively in any relationship. We hope this journey has been as enlightening for you as it has been for us. Until next time, keep practicing and keep growing.